So to start off, you're going to want to open up Unity. Now I have some secret things there, so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to click on new right here. We're going to name the project, and I'm going to call it your first game in Unity. I want to put it into 3D, and we don't need Unity and this looks on for now, but I do want to do a separate tutorial on how to do that. So yeah, once you're done setting everything up and whatnot, click Create Project, and this should appear pretty soon. Just gotta give it a second. So while we're waiting, I want to present my idea. So this is just an idea I had. I draw a lot, if you didn't know. So my idea for the first game is that I want to have it to where people use either the keyboard or mouse, and they use a controller or the keyboard, and what they can do is that they move the square guy with eyes, because I'm going to show you how to import models from Blender into your project. So you're going to have a guy with eyes rolling around, trying to collect these spheres of eyes, but there are these triangles who are the bad guys. Oh no. And yeah, I'm just going to talk about all sorts of stuff, and oh yeah. So, now that Unity is open, let's go into it. Your first game in Unity, we have the analytics, or the services as it's called in Unity. And right away, you can tell that mine looks different than yours. Mainly, this console is in the middle, I'm pretty sure. And also, the project here has a 2-column layout and everything set up like this, so it looks like this, kind of. Except, I think it's right here. But I like putting mines like, oh no. I like putting mines like this. So that's what I'm going to do. So to begin with, I want to create, oops, you got to open that up. I'm going to create a 3D object called a cube. So you can either right click the mouse, or you can press create here, or you can press game object right here. But I like right clicking because it's the fastest and it's the most effective way. So we're going to reset the transform on here. We're going to double click it. And immediately, we want to hit control. And what this does is that it snaps it to the grid. This is immediately something good that you're going to want to learn. Let's reset it. And let's set it out. So as you can see, it gets a lot more specific if we don't hold it down. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to hold it down and set it to 5 both ways on the X and the Z. There we go. So now I'm just going to set it to 30. So there's tons of room to explore, because this is an exploration game. So yeah, once you're done, we have this big cube which we can double click to focus on, or we can press an object and do control. Oh, whoops. I have no idea what I just did. Or you can press Control F. I think no, Shift F. Uh-oh. What did I do? There. Okay, so pressing play will get you out of that. Okay, don't worry. So yeah, get used to the controls. And we can press 2D to make it go into 2D, but we don't need that. You do this to get rid of lighting, which I don't want to do. Press this to turn any music that plays in the scene, and this turns on various skyboxes and stuff. I like leaving it off though sometimes, but I think it looks nice if we do this. So we're gonna right click here or press create, and you can. Oh no, I didn't mean to create that. But you can't really do anything else other than that here. I think you can press the assets. Yeah, but you can also press assets and do the same thing, but I'm just going to right click again. So I'm going to create a folder, and I'm going to name it materials, because you got to stay organized while making this. You don't have to make folders, but I definitely suggest doing so. And then we're going to press material, and I'm going to name this floor. And we're going to press this right here, and then we're going to change this the color to green. and then we're going to drag it in. So immediately, this looks nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera back, because the camera is what renders everything. So now we have a full view of our object, or our floor. So now let's create the player. To do this, I'm going to want to go into Blender. So I'm having Blender opened. And Blender is a very good program. I definitely suggest using it. So I'm going to delete that, which you don't have to do, and I don't think while doing that. And you don't have to worry about this. In fact, I'm going to delete them. Though it may cause problems, so I'm just going to bring them back. As you're going to tell, I'm a great developer, and cancel. So when you have an object selected, you can press S to make it lower, and if you go to Tools here, you can press Smooth to smooth it out. Now this really isn't the best way for modeling characters. There's another way to do it, where you can do this, and you can go in and add a modifier, and do subdivision surface, and then you can just edit it to however you want. But we're not going to add that because this is just the basics. So now we're going to select it, press duplicate, and click, and then we're going to bring it over here. And look, we have our cube. So now we go here, we save, and I'm going to want this to be character 4. Forced. I spelled forced wrong. Forced. So now if we go into Unity, and if you click on that file box, you see that this comes up. So you just drag it and put it into here. And so you give it a second, and look, your character's in here. And you can pop this up. Uh-oh. So what you can do is that you can pop it up like this, and you can see that we have it. So now you can add in materials to it by right-clicking on it, extending this out, and pressing this, adding a new, and then just play around with what it looks like. But just for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm not going to do that. And we also have more creative freedom in doing this. So I'm going to want to rename this by so you can rename things by either right-clicking, which may not give you the option automatically, or you can just highlight it and click on it. You give it a second, and it'll do it. So yeah, now that we have the character done, I'm also going to want to rename this to the floor. And so I'm going to want to import this in. So immediately you could tell that we have our character. So I'm going to want to rotate this by 90 degrees. Negative 90 degrees. I'm not the best at rotating. And we have our cute little character. So now I'm going to want to create a new material called the player. And I'm just going to drag it in. And I'm going to change the color to blue, because blue is a nice color. And look at that, we have a player ready. So now this is a thing called a prefab. These bold things say what the prefab is. And what a prefab is that you can save it down here. And this is a scene that we're in. You can access other scenes and import it into there. But we're not going to get into that for today. It's a little complicated. So I'm going to move the directional light out of here, because if you get rid of it, everything goes dark. But you can just move it out, and where it is doesn't really matter. So what I want to do next, I want to introduce you guys to creating lights. So if we do this, we have all these things, which I'm going to name the base, the left eye, and the right eye. So I'm going to create a light, go to point light, and I'm going to drag it out. But I want it to emit a new color. So I'm going to go with kind of a yellowish color. And if I extend it out, it works. So now all we have to do is bring it to the other eye. And as you can see, okay, it looks pretty nice. So I want to play around with the settings here, mainly the intensity. You can set it as much as you like, the indirect multiplier, which I don't know what it does exactly, but I'm not going to complain. and its range, which I'm going to keep at 10. And there's a reflection on the ground, as you can see. So now that we've created these lights, what's the difference between all these other lights that I saw? A directional light is just the light that we moved over. Okay, a point light is what we just added. A spotlight points at a certain area. A reflection probe is used for reflections, and so on. Okay, we will learn to use most of these objects, but not all of them. So as you can see, we have some pretty bad shadows. But now, what I want to add in is, so we're going to want to add a component, physics, Spill Collider. So now, you can see we can have a weird thing here. And if we press edit, we can edit it. So what this does is that it makes it so if our character hits the ground, it won't go through the ground. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the materials, go on the floor, and just set it to this because it's the same color as this, which can get pretty annoying. And you don't have to do this. There's an easier way if you just go under here and press the Mesh Collider. Except you may not want to do that at all times, so I am going to teach you how to use this. So if you press edit, you see these little dots. If you hold on them, you can edit the shape. So I am currently just editing everything in here. I'm adding in like a little outline, kind of, making it so it does this. And you can see that there's already a glitch with it, kind of. There's a technical error. So, after we're done creating this box collider, which we're going to make like that, we're going to add in another component under physics, and it's going to be called a rigid body. Now, this is hard to grasp for me explaining it, so I'm going to let this explain. So, not much happened here, but without the rigid body, if I move the character up, it would just float in the air. The rigid body adds in gravity. So, to edit how much gravity there is, you can go in the rigid body and change. Well, if you have the rigid body 2D, which we don't have, you can edit how what the gravity scale is, but you can't do it in here. So if we set it to 5, you see it kind of goes a little bit more. So what if we set it to that? What happens? That happens. Now I'm going to set it to 100. And as you can see, the character falls down. But this isn't very useful in game, so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to place it slightly above the character. So, now this is cool in all, little cake. You have a character working. You have everything working. It's pretty cool. But I have one question for you. How are we going to get the character to move around? With that, my friends, will come in part 2 of this Unity tutorial. So, hope you guys like this video. If you did, smash the like button, and if you're new, want to subscribe for some more content. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!